Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. It's time for a cup of joy. So I got my cuppa. Come on in and join and say hello. Let me know that you're here. And let's see how everybody's doing on a Sunday. So come in and say hello. And I'm going to find it on my phone, hopefully. Give me a moment to find it and I'll share it out. There's my Deirdre. Good morning, sweetheart. Looking for it on my phone so I can see who's here. There it is. Hi, Prachetta. Good morning. Okay, got it shared. So if you'll do the same, that would be great. And I know that it's not morning where you are, Prachetta, so good afternoon, evening. I cannot remember all of the time frames. Okay, so I shared it into a couple of groups. I don't see Wendy on, so I'm not sure if it's going into the river group or not. See who's here. Marietta, how are you doing, Marietta? I know that we no longer have a hurricane, but we still have a strong storm out there. So just thinking about you as it is moving up the coast. And Becky LaFave, thank you for being on with us this morning. Good morning to you. And Christina, good morning up in Michigan. Oh, it's so good to see all of you. It's 5 p.m., Prachetta says. Okay. So good afternoon. And I need coffee. It's been a restless night for me. So the good news, this could be the good news channel this morning. Oh, wait, it's Becky says, not staying today, Mom's birthday. Not feeling it today, but love you all. Love you too, Becky, and happy birthday to your mom. And Erica Hoppy is here. Marietta says, we are calm and safe here. Well, we are too, and that's the good news. The good news is that the hurricane was diminished to a tropical storm, but still very strong winds. So we are just now getting like the rain. We had a lot of wind last night, a lot of wind, but it's not so bad. This morning when I got up, the trees were barely moving. It was really calm. So thank you all. Thank you for your prayers, for your chants, for everybody that prayed for the safety of us here in South Florida. And it works. Prayer works. You know, when we put an intention out there, I've seen this happen with other storms where a lot of people would bond together and put that intention and pray that it wouldn't come into land, that it wouldn't hurt us, that it wouldn't be as destructive as it could have potentially been. So yeah, thank you. Thank you to everyone that did that and that told the storm to go away, to just leave us alone. And so it's still a storm. It's still a very strong storm, and it's just going to move up the coast and dump a lot of rain and a lot of wind. And I don't think it's going to be a big force at all, because it's just encountered a lot of force, not only the shear and everything that's bouncing it away from us, but a lot of force in us, in what we set as an intention and what we did together in pushing that storm out. We are so powerful. We really are a lot more powerful than even we think we are, because when we bond together and we pray for something and we set those intentions, you can see the result. It's awesome that we can just do what we do and protect each other and set that intention that it's going to leave us alone, and it is. So yes, we're sharing great news, and we've got Navriti, Stacy, good morning to you. Catherine Kovacs, I know that you're on the East Coast of Florida, further north from me. So yeah, we're talking about this storm that just is, it's no longer a hurricane. They downgraded it last night. They expected it to turn stronger overnight, but I don't think that it did. I think it's pretty much just a big storm right now instead of a massive hurricane. So thank you all for helping with that. And yes, Prachir is here. Happy Sunday to you and to everyone. And Gabby, I think I said good morning to you, and good to see you on here this morning. So how are all of you doing now that I can breathe and be calm? And yes, Stacy, it's just a tropical storm now, which, a tropical storm in itself is not fun. And there can still be the surge from the water. There can be big waves that cause flooding. So it's still not a pretty picture, but oh my gosh, so much better than what it was looking like that we were going to have that Cat 1 hurricane that was going to hit us. So thank you. And thank you, God, and thank you, angels, for your protection. So just a lot of good news to celebrate this morning. And Shelley is on from Ontario, Canada. You have rain there, and glad that we're safe. Yes, me too. Yeah, we've got rain. The rain is like intermittent because that's what happens with these storms. We get it in surges. So right now, it started just before I started the show, and now it's dying down a little bit. So yay, we can celebrate. So what else we got to celebrate? We know that Hope is out of the hospital and that she's doing better. She didn't come on the camera with us last night, but she was in the audience as we were doing our chanting, and she's doing good. So we're going to continue to lift Hope up and just intend with her, it's going to get better and better. And I love that this just shows our power. This just shows what we can do when we bond together. Stacy says, I'm so happy the sun is shining for now. I would love to see the waves at the beach. Yeah, I'm not going to go over there yet because I don't know how far up the coast it is. I don't know exactly where it's at right now, but I know we have like nothing right now. The trees aren't moving that much. So yes, and that's great news about Hope. I know. I'm so happy that she's out of the hospital and on the mend. And we love to find out about our family members when we prayed for them and lifted them up. We need to find out that good news. So I'm so glad that she shared that with us. And Catherine, you posted your blindfold drawing. I saw it and it's awesome. Thank you for doing that. Good morning, Sally. Sally, we are celebrating. We're celebrating because we bonded together in prayer and intention, and it's no longer a hurricane that's out there. It's just a big old storm. And Rick Morrow, I'm sure you're glad about this news as well, because Rick lives very close to where I do. And Sally says she has a gentle rain falling there. Yeah. I can handle gentle rain. In fact, I like gentle rain, but I don't like the torrential downpours. And that's what I was dreading. I was absolutely dreading what was coming with the rain and the wind. So thank you. Thank you to my family that helped support me. Good morning, Jean Lorio. So we're talking about the power of prayer and the power that we have as spiritual beings, that we can effect a change and we can effect something different than what is obvious that's going on. So what in your life has happened with the power of prayer. And I know many of you have great stories about how you have stood in your faith and you stood in the belief of what could happen, what the outcome could be. And you've seen the power, you have seen what can happen. And Sally, I think that Tony is a prime example of that. You know, we have lifted her up now for months. We've been praying for Tony to be better, to feel better, to have some of what's going on with her come to a resolution. So Sally, I think definitely yours and Tony's story is huge as far as what can happen when you stay in that power and stand in your divine authority. And that's what I mean by that. You stand in knowing who you are, what you are, and what you can do as that spiritual being, that it doesn't have to be the outcome that is so obvious that it's going to be, just like the storm. You know, to me, this is a metaphor of how we can really come together as a unit, as one, and see a change happen from our power that's within us. So just share, if anybody wants to share where you've had something that might have looked like it was really heavy, something that was going to be, not a great thing in your life. And then with the power of prayer and your faith and your belief, it turned around. I'd love to hear some of that. I'd love to hear some of those testimonies. And we have decided as a group that we are going to write an anthology book where you all write a chapter. So I would love to see some of that in your chapters. I did this a few years ago. It's the book that I wrote is called Changes. And I was going through some things because I'm decluttering and getting rid of a lot of stuff, getting ready for a move. And I found 5 copies of Changes. I think I may even have more than that somewhere in another box, but I found 5 copies and I thought I would love to send those out. So I'm going to be deciding how I'm going to do that. And I'm going to send 5 copies of that book out to whoever wants to read it and whoever could use some uplifting things in their life, because Changes, the book that I wrote, is all about things that we had in our life and how we came out of it on the other side and what that looks like when we stand in our faith and stand in our belief. So I want to see what some of your comments are and see what happened with your faith when you stood in it. And Navriti says, thank you so much for our little chat after the show yesterday. It really helped me. Good. I'm so glad, Navriti. And Navriti, thank you for your message to me this morning, because I was telling her, she messaged me that the full moon actually is on Monday, which is true. The full moon is actually tomorrow, I think early in the morning. But I was so distracted by the hurricane, and I knew that Karen Palmer had scheduled her full moon ceremony yesterday. And I was like, okay, it's full moon, so let's go with that. And it actually was not full moon, but we actually feel the effects of the full moon a couple of days before it's actually all the way in the full phase. So it is full moon, but not the actual time of the full moon. So we'll go with that. And if you put your crystals out, if you put water out to have that moon energy, it got it. Yeah, it does, because a couple of days before is very, very strong as well. All right, so Prachetta says, we had a nice sunny day today. Prachir started his packing to move to Goya. His girls are super, super thrilled. They are counting the days. Awesome. I'm so glad. Yeah, and speaking of moving, I'm going to be moving as well this coming month, or this month in August. Prachir says, today we've had a day full of bright sunshine and light, an absolutely gorgeous day. We needed it as we have been experiencing torrential rains since the past many days. I know, Prachir and Prachetta, we've been really praying that that rain would let up for you, because it's been ongoing. And I know how that feels living in a torrential place. I know how that feels when that rain is just relentless and keeps going and keeps going. So I'm so glad that you had a sunshiny day today. That's awesome. And Carol Allen, good morning to you. Thank you for being on this morning. And Sally says, yes, I agree. There is always hope. And with hope and prayer, we can create beautiful dreams. And we do, don't we? We create the world the way we want to see it when we realize that, and when we stand in that power that we have. Gabby says, I totally changed my life, even quit my job to become aligned and connected and to share the love. So far, so good. When we listen to our intuition and we listen to that guidance from our angels, from our spirit guide, from God, we are going to take action. We're going to take action and our lives will change. So Gabby, I am so thrilled that your life is the way it is right now. And I'm so glad that you listened and that you did what you knew to do. Okay, Catherine says she'd love a copy. Yeah, I'm going to figure out, I'll ask the angels to help me figure out a way that I can find out who is going to receive those 5 copies that I found. I'm pretty sure I have more than 5, because what I had done when that book was published, I ordered like a case of them, and I've been giving them away. As people would purchase one, I would give a copy away to like a women's center, places that they could really use some words of encouragement of people that had been through a trauma, been through really heavy things in their life, and come out on the other side. Yeah. And Stacy says, when I was young and in a toxic family and had no idea what a normal life was, I married an abusive man, and I still prayed and prayed and had faith that one day I would have a good life. 28 years ago, and one night I met a man who changed my life. In fact, when I walked past my now husband, I heard the words, "This is your husband. Now I am happy without abuse and with all my needs met." Yeah, absolutely, Stacy. That's a miracle when you've been in that abusive situation. And there's some stories in the book that I've already written and changes of people that were in abusive situations. And myself, I have been in a few abusive situations, physical and verbal. And it's no fun when you're caught up in that feeling of, will it ever get better? Will life ever change? And that is actually how the title of my book came to be. The title is Changes, and then the subtitle is Life Changes When You Do. Life changes when you do. When you turn that around from that feeling of, when will it ever change? When will it get better? And I had a client at that time that the book was written, and I would work with her and try to be encouraging and uplifting and help her, steer her to a positive way of thinking. But it was always the same question: when will it get better? When will my life get better? And I heard the words so very clearly from Spirit one day, and it was like, life will change when you change. And it's so true. It is really true that when you change that attitude and change the knowingness of who you are, and believing that you are enough and you are worthy of having better. And Stacy, that was the point I think that you were at, that you knew you were worthy to have better. And there it was, it came right in front of you. So yeah, lots of stories like that. And they're uplifting stories because of the ending, not because of what we went through, but because of the outcome. And yes, Gabby, I absolutely do post to Australia. I sure do. And I'd love your address anyway, because I want to send you a card that I bought, and I didn't have your address yet to send it to you. Deirdre, I was looking at being homeless again. I prayed to St. Jude for a home. It took 3 years, but when it came, I was gifted this place where I am now. It's in my old neighborhood, and I just love it here so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What a great testimony, Deirdre. And yeah, I totally agree. There's times when we just have to rely on prayer. We just don't know how it's going to happen. And again, Karen Palmer is coming up in the conversation. Karen has said this phrase for years, ever since I've known her, in fact. And the phrase is to let go of the how and get ready for the wow. And it sounds like, Deirdre, you got your wow. And I'm so happy about that. And Brachir says, a prayer never fails. All prayers get answered. Some are instant, while others take a wee bit of time. We just need to keep the faith. Yeah. And sometimes they're answered in a way that we didn't see. Maybe we had a thought about how the outcome was going to be, and it's totally different, but it was the perfect way for it to be answered, isn't it? And Sally says, any full moon energy is felt prior to and after the actual arrival. That's so true, Sally. And sometimes I have felt that energy so strong, like the day before the actual full moon date. I felt it a lot stronger at that point when that pull is so very strong. And it could be the anticipation also, but I think the energy is at that point of us really opening up and receiving. And then when the moon's there, it's just so beautiful. Excuse me, I did a full moon meditation yesterday morning, and I think I shared it into the group. But that's something you can do if you can stand out under the moon, if it's not raining and you can actually see the moon, stand out in that moonlight, because it makes a big difference too if you're actually taking in all of it, the visual and the feelings of it. Then you're going to get a better experience, a more profound experience, I should say. And Jean, she says, your moon meditation was awesome. Thank you, Jean. That was totally inspired. And I loved that we went through the chakras, and the singing bowl just added to the energy of it to really get it coming through the chakras. So thank you for your comment. And Gabby says, I find moon energy really affects me. I have always, my whole life, I've always loved that full moon. And I was telling Ruth yesterday when I was doing the meditation, I grew up in the mountains up in Kentucky. We didn't have lights. We didn't have the street lights and any distracting lights around. It was just total dark when it got dark. And that moon was always so beautiful as it came up over the mountain. And as a child, even, I just fell in love with the full moon. I didn't know exactly all the power that it had. I just knew it was powerful. And I could feel that. Even as a child, I could feel the moon's energy really affecting me in a huge way. So it does. It has such a power. And especially if you can see it and really go into the energy of it and work with its energy, you're going to find it makes a big difference. And good morning. There are people jumping in. Maria, yes, you're on. I see you. And I don't know who else came in because I was talking. I think Julie Kiss. Did I see your name? Okay. All right. So I'm going to go back to the comments because I'm loving that you all are sharing. And Sophia is here from Thailand. Thank you. Carol says, it seems like it rains here every full moon. Yeah, that happens too. I love it when it's clear though, and when we can really sit under that moon energy. So let me see where I'm at. Jean says, family, if you missed Teri's meditation, catch it on YouTube. It's life-changing. Thank you, Jean. Thank you so much for those words. And yes, it is on YouTube. I can post that link, the YouTube link, in the group. I have to keep moving my glasses. I've lost a lot of weight, and so I need to have my glasses adjusted so they'll stay up so I can read your comments. All right, so Marietta When I was about 8 years old, I had a cyst on my wrist. The doctor said I would have to have it cut out. That scared me so much. My parents told me to pray to have God take it away. So I prayed many times every day and gave thanks to God for the healing. And yes, the cyst kept getting smaller until it finally disappeared. That lesson has stayed with me all my life. EIWP. Everything is working perfectly. Marietta, thank you for that testimony. I am so happy to hear that solidified your faith in prayer. It let you see the evidence of it. And, faith is really knowing without seeing evidence. But then we see the evidence after that, and it's like it's a confirmation that the faith that we were holding did something. It made a difference. It transitioned whatever was there. And thank you, Marietta, for that beautiful testimony. Okay, and what else we got? So Stacy was saying narcissistic. Yes, my mom and my ex-husband. Hard to love through. Yeah, when you're dealing with somebody that's so caught up in themselves and in their energy, it is hard, and it can become an abusive situation. That was one of the relationships actually a couple that were so caught up in themselves and everything was about them and the world evolved around them. And so when you're not catering to that thought process, that's where the conflict comes in. Okay. What else do we have? Say good morning to Maria. Good morning, Maria. We're talking about seeing evidence in our life when we put an energy out there, prayer, just knowing, believing, trusting that something is going to have a good outcome, because we turned around the storm. I really believe our prayers, our intention is what made this hurricane diminish. And now it's a tropical storm instead of a hurricane. And I can't tell you how happy I am this morning. I finally fell asleep, I think about 2:00. I was like, okay, I can't watch the wind anymore. Let me just try to get some sleep. And then I woke up to the news that it had been downgraded and it was calm here. So it was a beautiful, beautiful thing that happened, that we all came together and said, let's just push this away and not have it be a destructive force right now. Okay. Maria, I love that comment. I also am a una luna human. She loves the moon. I do. I love that moon. It's so beautiful. And the moon energy, no matter what phase it's in, it's a beautiful energy. But that full moon, that's powerful. And Maria, yes, faith can bring light to a sharer's world. Yeah. And Stacy says, I knew I needed to wake up this morning for the cup of joy. Yeah, absolutely. And Charles is here. Good morning, Charlie. Charlie, you're such a delight in our family, and thank you for being a part of us. And Charlie's also a part of our chanting family when we chant at night. For those of you who may not know, every night at 9:00, we come on live and do chanting. And we've been doing it, I think, close to 60 days now. So that's 2 months of chanting, and we've seen the effect of that as well. We have seen our lives changing in a better way. We've seen the world changing in a better way. So thank you, Charlie, for your support with that, for Gabby, for Hope, Jean, Lorio, Marianne. I haven't seen Marianne on this morning, but she's a big part of the chanting family as well. And thank you all for being there and for gathering your energy with ours as we set intentions. Hope says, oh, good morning. Hope is here. Good morning. And for her, it's good afternoon. And she's glad that I'm safe. I'm glad I'm safe. And Stacy and Catherine and Rick Morrow and Marietta, all of us Florida folk that were dreading this hurricane that had paid us a visit that is no longer a hurricane. And there's really no threat from it here where I'm at. Now, it is going to go up the coast, from what I understand, as a very, very strong tropical storm. So there will be a lot of water. There'll be a lot of water dumped on Florida over today and tomorrow and going on up the coast from there. So let's remember anyone that's in the way of that there won't be any flooding or any storm surges from the water. So, okay, so what else we got? Carol Allen. Oh, she's saying good morning to Charlie. Yes, we love our Charlie. And Carol, you chant with us as well. Thank you for doing that. And Prochetta says, my mom was very afraid and petrified of doctors and hospitals. Her prayer used to be morning and evening, that whenever she goes, it should be at home, painless and quick, without troubling me or Prachir. And that's how she went quietly, doing all her work till the last minute of her life. She had strong prayers. I miss you, Mom. I know you do, my sweet darling Prochetta. I love you so much, and I love your compassion, and I know that came from your mom. I know that she's the one that instilled that in you and in Prachir. So thank you both for being the people that you are in our lives. And that was her strong influence with you. You saw the evidence of her faith and saw what happened, and she got her prayer answered, didn't she? Beautiful. Jean says, yes, we did, Teri. We prayed hard almost every moment, and it changed. This is the second time prayer has moved a hurricane. There's power for you. It absolutely is, and I've seen it both times, and I've been involved in those who were praying and moving that energy out away from us. You know, visualization is so powerful. When we see something happening, we put our energy in there to create that, to create the movement of it going away from us or just totally diminishing and being a non-thing anymore. So that's what we've done. And I'm so very happy that I'm a part of a family that believes that we're all in sync with our belief, with the power of who we are and how we can move mountains. If we can move a hurricane, we can move mountains out of our way. So if you think there's a big obstacle in your life, if you think that things are just looking so beyond devastating for you, just get into that energy of who you are and what you are and create it the way you want it to be. Create that change. Be effective with your prayers and with your belief and your trust, because it does happen. We can see the evidence of it happening. So thank you. Thank you to all of you who are in my family. We are such a wonderful, beautiful family here. And anybody that's new, we are on Facebook. We are the Angelic River family. And it's a family that came together during a time of lockdown where we were all just facing being alone. And we're no longer alone. I don't feel alone. There's not one day of my life right now that I feel alone. Even though I live alone, I don't go out a lot into the world. I do my grocery shopping, and that's about it for right now. So we're not alone. We have each other. And I love that we have this family together. And we come together every day on here. We come together for a cup of joy to just have whatever your cup is, whether it's tea, coffee, water, whatever's in your cup, bring it to this meeting that we have every morning to see how everybody's doing and to get any uplifting energy, but to also share your burdens, share what's going on in your life, because those shared burdens become less when we share them. We can all lift you up, just like with Hope. Hope, when you were in the hospital, we were all right there with you, honey. We all lifted you. And I saw the doors opening for you, and that came to be that you walked out of that hospital. So there is so much power when we gather together. And we're happy to have the new folk that have come in, and thank you for being here. All right, so I think I'm missing some conversation. Let me just scroll back up. And also for anybody who's new here, we do a prayer at the end of this, a meditative prayer. So we put in prayer requests. So anyone that wants to start putting in your prayer requests, we can start that now. And then that'll be ready when we get to the time to do it. So let me just type that in. And I saw our Mary Ann show up. And Mary Ann, we're celebrating today. We're celebrating that the storm is no longer a hurricane. It's a tropical storm. And I have a calm area where I live right now. We've got some rain and it's not really windy at all. Nothing like what it could have been. So, yeah. All right, let me see what I missed up here. So Gabby, I've had 2 days now of being inundated with sylphs. Apparently, they want their time in the spotlight. They sure do, Gabby. And Gabby, I would love for you to come on here and let's talk about some elemental energy, because I know that's really big with you where you're at. And I would love to have you come on. Let's talk about dragons and sylphs and all of the wonderful fairies, the elementals. Let's have a morning of doing that. I would love that. And I love you too, Prachetta. Thank you. And Carol says, I never knew what they are. Now I realize I've always seen them. Yeah, beautiful. All right. Maria says, we are the evolution as a one. We are. We are finally waking up to that awareness that we're all one. We're all part of the great oneness of everything. And we are all a spark of the divine and came from the exact same energy. So I'm so happy that we have gotten to that point of realizing that and recognizing that we're so powerful. We're very powerful in who we are. And Gabby says they are not well known at all and they want to change that. They want more humans to connect. It's the sylphs that we should be talking to about the hurricane. They can move it. They did move it, Gabby. I believe that. I believe that. And good morning to everyone that is coming in. I see we have more people that joined us, and you came in just in time to put in a prayer request, anything that you want us to lift up. We are doing that this morning. So as we do every morning. And Catherine Kovacs had asked what a sylph is, and Gabby says that it is a wind spirit. There are so many elementals and different types of elementals. And we've been doing a show, I don't know if we're doing it every week, I think we are, about elemental energy. And Dr. Ruth Anderson is bringing in like Carol Cross, who is in Australia. And Carol has explained a lot of the energies already, the fairies, the unicorns, the dragons, the sylphs, the mermaids. So a lot of elemental energy we've been getting some experience with as we go into meditation and connect with them. Awesome. Okay, what we got? Carol says, I'll be asking. We are supposed to get it on Tuesday. Yeah, Carol, I don't think it's going to be a whole lot when it gets to you. It's going to diminish. That's my feeling. And I had already an intuition that it wasn't going to be bad, that it wasn't going to be a huge force, but it's a lot less even than what I had thought. So I'm so happy that we got help to push that out of our way. It's like, just get out of here. We don't want you here. Okay, so what else we got? Okay, Marianne is here. Maria says, I get confused on timing, but connecting. Yeah, we are. I don't know where you're at, Maria. We are. We start at 7:30 Eastern time, and the show is on for about an hour. So I'm glad you found us this morning. And Sally says, prayers for peace and love to fill each of our hearts, for good health to be there for those who suffer, and for happiness to surround us all. Absolutely. And Sally and Tony will be on with me tomorrow for any of you that want to tune in, and we can get updates on the center and updates on Tony and see how everything's going. And Sally, I saw your comment or heard your comment when you were doing the card pulls that you and I should do one together. Let's plan that. I would love to do some card pulls with you and bring some messages in for people. So let's plan on doing that. And Gabby says, Teri, the elementals won't leave me alone. I love it. No, Gabby, they're not going to leave you alone because you love them and you've opened to their energy and you honored them with your energy. So yeah, they're going to be around you. Just enjoy every moment of it because that's what they want you to do. And Prachir says, if I have to give an example of the power of the prayers, then I'm reminded of my mom and how she prayed. Like what Prachetta just wrote, she was so afraid of hospitals and doctors that she always prayed she should depart peacefully. And that's how she went, peacefully and quietly. She was so religious in her prayers. Other chores would happen only after she had put in prayers for her children, her grandchildren, and herself. I love you, Mom, and I miss you. No one can fill the void left by you. Oh, awesome. Yeah, your mom's with you, Prachir. She's always there, and I know that you all are feeling her energy. And she was very strong in her faith. And Maria, the winged ones are singing. Yes, they are. Yeah. Gabby says prayers for Gaia, her elementals, her animals, and for those who have lower vibrations who would hurt them. Yeah, there's a lot of that, isn't there? And we would definitely want for an awakening to happen. That's what our chanting is about. It's about bringing an energy of awakening into our world, recognizing that we are all one. We are just one big energy having these separate human experiences. So we're chanting and praying for us to come together and to realize that there's no separation, that we're all one. Jean says, I really was asking the wind elementals to help move the hurricane. I didn't know their name, but now I know. Thank you, Jean. Thank you for those prayers. Because it worked. It worked. We have evidence that our prayer and the energy we put out does have an effect. So thank you. Prachetta says, good health prayers for Stacy, Tony, Wendy, Shantae, Hope, and Charlie. Happy prayers for Tracy, David, Prachir, Neil. Special prayers of protection and abundance for Fairy, Teri. Prayers of love and peace for everyone in the group. Thank you so much. Thank you, Prachetta. Beautiful. And Gabby says, I just love the magical tingly energies. Yeah. Maria, you're in Boston, so you're on the same time as we are. I love Boston. I lived there with some friends for about a year, and I loved the energy there. I know it's a lot different now because that was many years ago, but it's still a beautiful place. Okay, so what else we got? Totally love card pulls. Yeah, Maria, John Fiore and I just did a whole afternoon pretty much of doing them. And Sally, I would love to sit with you and do some messages. So let's plan on that. All right, so what else we got? Prayers from Jean Lorio, prayers that all those affected by the storm will be safe and well. Absolutely. And Marianne, I'm so glad you joined us, Marianne. Prayers for my children and grandchildren. Absolutely. Carol says, my mom would have celebrated her 94th birthday today. Well, happy birthday in heaven to your mother. And just feel into her energy. I have a feeling that you are going to feel her today and hear from her. And something about a painting. So I don't know if you have painted her energy or if she's wanting you to sit with her energy and create a painting that's in honor of her. So there's some message coming through, Carol, right now for you to feel into her energy and let the creative process flow as you do that. So that's what I'm hearing. Stacy, prayers for my daughter that she knows how much I love her and need her in my life, and that she will find it on her heart to give me the gift of her time. Absolutely, Stacy, I can resonate with that. So let's lift that up. And I'm also going to put my friend Tiffany, who from Love and Light, who's been in here with me. Her daughter had a car accident and it totaled the car. She's okay. She's banged and bruised, but she is okay. And let's lift her up for her emotional state. She does a lot of work with the turtles. We have turtles hatching here on the beach, which is one more blessing of not having this hurricane come in here right now, because there's baby turtles that are coming up out of the nest and going into the ocean. So that would have been very destructive to have them go into that kind of turbulence in the ocean. So one more blessing of this storm not being a hurricane at this point. So let's lift Tiffany's daughter, Adriana, up in prayer that she'll be back out there on the beach and helping those little turtles to find their way into the ocean and not get disoriented and turn a different direction. And let's see if we have any other prayer requests before we start. Hope says prayers of gratitude for the entire tribe. Oh, honey, I'm so grateful that you're on here with us and that your outcome, as we all prayed and lifted you up, was a beautiful one. And Sally said yes to doing card pulls with me. She says that would be so fun. It really would be. Thank you, Sally. Let's plan on that and let's set a date to do that. And Gabby says, I miss Sharon Boyle. Yeah, she's not on here this morning. So definitely let's lift Sharon up, whatever's going on in her life this morning, and hope that she's okay. And I miss Wendy too. And Wendy may be working. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I do miss her this morning. And Jordan De La Rosa. So Sally, please pass on our love to Jordan and tell her we missed her on here this morning. And Stacy says, oh yes, the turtles. Thank the Lord, they will be safe. Yeah, there's a lot of them hatching right now. We had a lot of nests this year, and we had some leatherback turtles that came in this year and laid eggs. So we definitely want those to survive and get out there into the ocean and become that huge, beautiful turtle that we love to see out there. Deirdre, prayers for humanity, that we reach that place of love and light for everyone, the new earth. Absolutely. Carol says, I just felt her energy, talking about her mom, and looked up. There was a blue opening in the clouds in the shape of a heart. I knew there was something big that she wanted you to see, but it feels like there's more than that too, Carol. It feels like painting. She wants you to do something creative today. So just sit with that energy. And Deirdre is asking for world peace, of course, every day. Let's ask for that. All right, and Christina says, an athlete here in our very small school just got tested positive for COVID at football camp, hoping no others and that the team will be okay. Well, let's lift him up. I believe it's a him. Yeah, okay, so let's lift that up. And Deirdre says, Wendy woke up late. She wishes us a good day, a great day. Thank you. And the same to Wendy. We love you. We love you. We love you. And thank you for being a part of our family. And Jordan was very tired today after work. Thank you, Sally. All right, and then one more, and we're going to go into our prayer time. Prachir is asking prayers for Prachetta to be happy and strong, for Terry to be healthy and shining, for Annika, Vanya, Karuna, Neil, Minima, and my beautiful Angelic River family to always be happy and healthy. And Robin Dykes, you came in just in time for our meditative prayer, and we are going to do that now. This morning at 10 o'clock Eastern, we do a silent meditation here at Enlightened World Network, and it's going to be a beautiful time together as well. And then at 11 o'clock, we're going to spotlight light workers, and it's called Tenacious Leadership. So we're talking about those who just keep giving in the midst of all of the chaos in the world, people that have just kept on coming out with a lot of energy of letting us know that there are strong lights and we can go to those lights when we need uplifting. So we're going to do that, I think, for 4 weeks. We'll spotlight light workers. So join us at 11 o'clock this morning for that show. Okay, so let's begin with going into our heart center. We want to go into right in here in this high heart area. And if I place my hand there, I start to immediately feel the focus going to the heart. And this has been proven that where we touch on our body is where our focus goes, where our energy starts to gather into that area. And then if we connect the breath, our beautiful oxygen that keeps us going, keeps us alive, we connect that to that area. It creates an energy that starts to move, and that movement can go up to our third eye. And that's what we're going to do this morning. We're going to open up that third eye even more. And I feel like this is so needed right now for us in this time, that we can feel that moon energy more prevalently in our lives. We can feel our loved ones. And Carol, I'm thinking of you as we're doing this, for you to really feel your mom's energy today. And Prachir and Prachetta, I want you to also feel that, to go into your heart center. And let's open up that third eye more today. Let's do that this morning, so we can all get more connection with who we are and what we are, and those that are surrounding us that are on the other side, those who have left their human existence behind, but they're here. They're here very strongly and powerfully. So as we begin, you're just going to touch that heart center and you're going to start breathing in. So just take a deep breath in. I'm going to take these glasses off since I don't have to read anything right now. So take a deep breath into your heart. Let the energy go in there. And you'll start to feel a movement. So as you breathe in deeply, breathe in love, breathe in the energy of connecting, the energy of knowing that you are one, that you're not alone. You're part of a greater force. And that force is your spiritual family. It's those that you are connected with, coming into your heart center right now. And then on the out breath, release anything that's low vibration, anything that you might be aware of in your body. If there's sadness, if there is anger, if there's an energy of pain, an energy of not being worthy, not being enough, release all of that with your out breath. You want only love to be in this heart center. So as you take a breath in, breathe in love. Breathe in that beautiful warmth that's coming to you directly from source energy, from what I call God. You can call that energy whatever you want. But breathe in the white light and feel the warmth of it. Hold that for a minute when you breathe it in. Don't immediately let it go, but hold it in there. And then relax it out, releasing out anything that's unlike love. Just let it go. And then this next breath in, I want you to really focus on what it feels like. Focus on that love. Focus on the warmth and see it swirling. See it going in a circular motion inside of your heart. And now we're going to bring that energy, that circular motion, we're going to bring it all the way in and through the back of you. So as it swirls around, it's coming more to your back. Just see it moving, releasing out the back of you and traveling up the spine, up your neck. See that energy as it moves. Really go with it. Go with the energy flow. You're going to feel a tingling. You're going to feel a movement. And it's going up your back, up the neck, up the back of your head. And see it now as it has moved up above your head. Feel the crown chakra as it starts to swirl around with this energy. This energy is very effective. So as it moves, it's moving around the top of your head. You may feel tingles. You may feel like your hair is moving with the breeze of it moving around you. And then feel it as it moves now down. And it's going to move right into the center of your forehead, right where your third eye area is. Feel that energy there now. Feel it as a force that has traveled from your heart. It's expanded all the way up and over. And now it's in the area of your third eye. So focus on what it's feeling like right now as it moves. And it's moving inside of you. Inside that third eye area, there is a pineal gland. And this gland is what we want to focus on. We want to move the energy of that gland. We want it to expand and to move further out so that the power of it is huge. The energy is moving you to really feel it. So feel that pineal gland as it opens up more, and you can visualize it. See it as this little pine cone shaped object that's in your brain, right in that area. This is the pineal gland. And we're going to open up that energy with your own chi, with your life force that you have moved from your heart center all the way up to this third eye. Just sit with that for a moment. Sit with the energy swirl. Let it move inside of you. And just set your intention that you're going to open up that third eye. Feel the energy as it moves further away from your body. It's moving out and expanding out. You may see color. I'm feeling a lot of gold color right now, a lot of silver, and that beautiful deep indigo that just keeps opening as this pineal gland gets stronger and stronger. You're going to start seeing the colors more clearly. And then you're going to start feeling, as you open those clairs, you're going to start feeling the energy of what's coming to be with you, whether that's angels or spirit guides or that higher self that's speaking to you constantly, giving you messages, being there with you and for you, giving you guidance. Just allow. Accept the energy in and allow and align with it. Just take a moment for you to really feel into that energy. Just letting it be. You don't have to do anything. Just sit with it. And I'm starting to see so much color come through for everyone now. It's almost like a rainbow of color is happening and swirling around you and through you. Another deep breath in. Breathe again into your heart center. You have a connection now. You have a thread of energy going from your heart right to your third eye. Feel the pulsing sensation. You can feel it in your third eye every time the heart beats. You can feel that connection. And you can feel how strongly that energy is moving between the heart and the third eye. Opening, expanding, bringing in the energy of love right into your third eye. So beautiful. So now with that energy opening up, let's all focus on what we want to move with that energy. What do you want to move? What do you want to affect as change in the world? Let's look at these prayer requests that were lifted up. As a family, we care about each other. And if all of us can powerfully join together, just look at what we can do. Look at the change we can bring forward with all of our intention, all of our love, energy, creating an outcome of a beautiful experience for everyone that's suffering some difficulty, someone that needs that touch from spirit. We can bring that forward. So let's pull our energy together with these prayer requests. Let's see each person that's gathered, that has been put in the circle. Let's see them in their perfection, looking at them with that spiritual eye, not our third eye, third dimension eye, but our spiritual eyes are looking at every prayer request and seeing the perfection of it coming to be exactly the way that it's working for them, exactly the perfection of that outcome for them. And as we do so, we're also lifting that energy away from us and we're releasing our attachment to it. So see the cord right now, see the cord of energy going between you and whatever it is that we put in the circle. And we're going to send love through that cord. We're going to send the intentions through that cord for the very best outcome for that person, whatever that looks like for them. And then let's release it. Let's ask our beautiful Archangel Michael to cut our cords of connection so that we are no longer attached to the outcome, and that energy can flow freely of all these prayer requests, just letting them go, lifting them up. And then let's have that faith, that belief, that trust that every prayer request was heard, seen, and acknowledged. And let's go back to our heart now. Go back to your beautiful heart, where there is so much love, so much faith, so much trust. And let's hold that energy of love really tight as we reach out to one person in the group. Just one person, just hold them so tight right now. And just say to that one person, I love you. I love you. Feel that warmth in your heart, the warmth of a hug, the warmth of the angels being right there touching you, just as you have spread your love out to others that are here. The angels are spreading their love with you and replenishing the love inside of your heart. And now, let's give that love to each other. Let's send that love out to everyone. So we do this with the heart telephone. And what we do is hold that energy in our heart. And I'll count down to 3 or up to 3. And then we're going to say all together out loud, thank you. I love you. So 1, 2, 3. Thank you. I love you. I love you, my family. You are in my heart always, always. You are so beautiful, so amazing. And wow, you are powerful. Thank you for being a force in my life that does things like moves hurricanes and sends forth an energy to bring through a beautiful resolution to things that are going on in the world and bringing world peace. We can do that. We see how powerful we are in the things that we do. Let's bring world peace. Let's settle all of that energy of racism and bigotry and separation. Let's do that with what we know we can do in our power. So thank you for being here. And I pray that what we did together today, opening up our third eye, is going to create something in you for you to reach out powerfully in your life and make that higher connection. Connect with your source, connect with your higher self, connect with your loved ones that are right there for you, and bring in that energy of just knowing, believing, knowing, trusting. As our dear Marietta says, everything is working perfectly. Hold that thought, hold that energy inside as you go through the rest of your day. And stay with us here at Enlightened World Network. We have such beautiful programming here and different ways that you can connect with each other and stay connected throughout the day. So join us at 10 o'clock this morning, 10 o'clock Eastern. We will be doing a silent meditation and behind the scenes lifting up and asking the angels, what do we need to know as a collective right now? And we'll be bringing that forward to you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I hope you all do know how much you are loved and how much this family is a true family. And we're here, whatever the need is, just let us know. Share your burdens because we all share it with you. You are never alone when you're in this family. So thank you. Deirdre is still with us, and she has said the words that take us out of here every day. And namaste, y'all, is the way that we salute each other at the end, recognizing that we are all one, that what is in us is in you. And we see that and we love that. I love you. And I'll be here tomorrow with Sally and Tony. Don't miss that show. That's going to be awesome tomorrow morning. And if anybody else wants to be on with me, this next week is full, but there's a week after. So just let me know when you'd like to be here. I love you all.